back on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Off the draw from Fitzpatrick. It's Forte. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
I know from an offensive perspective, you want every play to be a big play. But sometimes the defense actually wins, and they did there on that draw play. Good job by the runner just taking care of the football because he didn't want to compound a bad play by turning it over.
And he's got a noon one. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. And now Nick Folk, his career long, 56 yards. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored one.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. This will be taken very short. You can't bring him down.
The weight room does work. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
And New York set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Still back there. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that's complete to Luke Wilson. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Here's Fitzpatrick. And to the left side here, Wilson. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 5.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And that's complete to Huff. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Here's Steve Weatherford now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Another carry for the rookie, Elliott. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. And New York set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
They'll give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Can't find anyone open. And this is going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that brings up 4th down. On now is Nick Folk in the field goal unit for the Jets. And Folk's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. The offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now here comes Kansas City. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Give him 16 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. 3rd and 2, Smith. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. 2 minutes minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Surveying the field, eluding the pressure right. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second and very short here, less than a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
And he whips that one incomplete there. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now Smith drops it underneath to Elliott. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Demetrius Harris, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Maclin. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Santos now to add the PAT. And it's 21-3. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Jets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Thomas. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. DeAnthony Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss hit the ball.